I remember when I was younger, I said my mom is a tailor, right? I would see my mom sew, and then most times I'm in the room gisting with her or helping her with designs and stuff. And she'll tell me, you need to learn this thing. I said, woman, it's not just school. Forget that I didn't go to school. You need to learn a trade. You need to be able to be handy, yada, yada, yada. And I'll always tease her and say, if everybody's a tailor, who will pay who to sew their clothes?
Oh my God.
I wasn't wise at the time, you know. And she'll say, that's not what to think. I mean, because I'm like, if we're all sewing, then that means nobody will make money because everybody can sew what they want. So people like you should sew. People like us should come and pay you to sew. And you would laugh about it. But guess what? Years down the line, I'm the one who is now on a sewing machine making a wig.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll sit in my store and I'll say, this was my mom. And at the time, I didn't think what she was doing was reasonable. But here I am doing the same thing.
Wow.
She did, bringing that money and saying to my coach, we're having conversations like a coaching session, and she's like, listen, you're just revamping. You would not scale to a high level if you stick at revamping. Why not considering adding sale of hairs, closures and stuff? I'm like, I want to, but my problem is the kind of hairs I like. I don't know if people will be willing to bring out that money. She's like, try. If they don't, then you switch to something cheaper. Start big. Start with top quality hairs. If they don't buy it, go for something lower. Don't start with low. Because when you start with cheaper hairs, when you want to scale up, people start saying, when did she start? We knew how it's selling. So start big. And I always bless God for my. The first capital you need is to believe that you can do it. Money will come later.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah. So that's how I got my funding.
I love
Not being a tailor. I was that child that would go to my mom to supply her products, her wares to her clients. And so I would see the bargaining skill that goes on. I see the architecture that goes into the dresses she made. I think my mom gave me that confidence that I needed to do a business that I wanted to do. Because there was this popular market in Nigeria they'd go to in Lagos. It was called Aswani Market in Lagos. That market was only on Tuesdays. And it's funny because on each line, everybody selling the same product stays on the same line. So sometimes I'll go with my mom to the market, and we would have people, traders coming from Cotonou, Togo.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a very big market. It was only on Tuesdays they opened up. And on some occasions, my mom would have no sale. On some days, she would have low sales. I've witnessed a time where we're packing to leave, and some lady came and bought like 20 pieces at once, paid cash, and walked away. So I feel like those times, those memories is what gives me hope. There are months I could go without a sale, but I would still show up for my business
Showing
regardless.
up. I love that.
Oh yeah.
Showing up is
My business name is The Enthusiast. I mean, I've heard people say your business name is too long. I'm like, it's not flesh and blood. Deal with it. Like exactly. You guys can pronounce Salvatore Ferragamo.
Oh my God! Look at that. So you can do that. Why not?
Yeah, if you're sure of Salvatore Ferragamo, why can't you know The Enthusiast? It's that simple.
I love
that
the confidence.
Oh yeah. Say it. I'm my own competition. So whether there are 10 hairstylists in my city, Regina, I don't see the 9 other vendors as my competition.
Right.
I see myself as, can I do better?
Yeah.
What should I have done differently? What can make me stand out, right? And I think that it's very clear for my clients to see that when they interact with me, I'm not about I charge, is that I know what I'm delivering on. And I can tell you, I've never really had much complaints on how my wigs fit. I'm still managing that because like you said, even when they can see the value, they still don't believe that somebody like me who's barely been 3 years in Canada, and I would say I officially launched my business a year ago, would have the guts to price my products the way I price it. And the reason I usually tell them is very simple. The benefit is best enjoyed when the price is forgotten. So it's not the price that matters, it's the benefit of what I'm offering you that matters. And beyond my product, I think a lot of times my clients come to me because of my personality, but also most importantly because of my value proposition. So I'm not just a hairstyler. I say that all the time. No, I'm both a wig maker, I'm a hairstylist, I'm a hair colorist. Now, if you purchase a hair from me, it's not a one-time purchase and you're done. Because I'm a wig maker, if for any reason you have an issue with the wig or it doesn't fit right, I tell you to return it back at no cost and I'll fix it for you. If you tell me, oh, the hair is tangled, I tell you, bring it back to me, I'll fix it for you. So it's not like regular hairstylers that just sell hair and there's no after-sales service.
Welcome to Moneymakers Podcast. I remain your host, Sheon Ajila. Here we have real conversation regarding business and how to grow wealth. Today, I am joined with Blessing Hani from the beautiful city of Regina here in Canada. Blessing, you're welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
And thank you too. And for the purpose of some of our audience that haven't interacted with any of your products and your works before, can you please introduce yourself to our audience?
All right. Thank you very much, Sheon, for having me. It's such a pleasure being here. My name is Blessing Ani. I am the CEO of The Enthusiast. Yes, so The Enthusiast is a luxury hair brand that deals with top quality raw human hair. I also make custom wigs and I'm into hair coloring. Now, I'm sure you're wondering what The Enthusiast is. Yes, The Enthusiast means for you to be enthusiastic about your hair. Because I feel like a woman's hair is her crown. And so when you're wearing a crown, you really should wear it with pride, with so much dignity and with so much confidence.
Fantastic.
Right. So my job is to, prefer top quality human hairs that elevates your looks, that makes you feel excited, and then that gives you that enthusiasm that you need to start off your day. So yes, that's what's basically what my business is about.
You know what? That sounds like a total experience for me. Like you trying to build and take your customer from the place of appearing to be just a casual normal girl to a lady, to a woman that is super confident and a reflection of what they feel from inside.
Exactly.
Fantastic. How did you even come about that cover looks that you situate right in the center of your business?
So it's quite a funny story. I've always been that girl that I didn't used to like making my hair because I have the typical African hair, very full, very thick, very stubborn hair that,
I can relate.
When we're growing younger and you'd go to the salon and nobody wants to touch your hair because it's too much work, right? And so I knew from then, man, I needed to find a solution for myself that would suit me. And so when I went into the university, I started braiding my hair and stuff, but it still took time. Now, I'm not even a very patient person that can sit for hours getting my hair done.
I know.
So the moment I realized, there was such a thing as wigs, it became my go-to. Exactly. But the brand name Enthusiast actually came from a very funny place. So I was at a not so good position sometime in 2019. I had just been laid off from work, and I was just home nurturing my newborn because I had just given birth to my last kid. And I realized that during that downtime, one of the things that gave me hope was my hair. I would go out to events and people would always tell me, "Oh, you look nice. I like your hair," and those kind of things. And so even in that dark situation, I found something to give me joy. So
strength.
Exactly, to give me strength. I found something to boost my confidence. A lot of times when I reflect back and I tell people, "Oh, do you know that time I was jobless?" They were like, "No, you didn't look like it."
Look at that.
Yeah, exactly. You looked put together. You looked like someone who had everything going on. And then I think I don't even know how that name just came about. I just was like, if there's anything in this dark phase that I'm in that kind of gave me joy, it was the fact that I was enthusiastic about going out because I knew that I would have a fly wig on and then I would get compliments or people would just be like, "Oh, I really like how this looks on you," and that kind of a thing. So I think that was where the name Enthusiastic came out from. And so I just thought, you know what? I think I'll give my brand name Be Enthusiast.
Oh, so look at that. I love that. And there's a part of the story that really stands out for me, and it's the fact that this business was born out of your low moment.
Right.
What people would typically call their valley moment. Right. And I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs talk about how that business came out of what we can call pressure. But pressure is what most people don't like to resonate with. We all don't like it. We all like it's that good table. You understand? And I often tell people, you know what? When life is stable and is on a straight line, medically, that is when that life is no longer in existence. That's when the person is late. But if you see that wavy line up and down, that means that the person is still on the side of life. So what that says to me is the fact that the peak and the valley is a necessary complement required for life. So
absolutely.
Tell us a little more how that journey actually now tie all together from that period when you were in between jobs and you discover that, my hair is actually helping me to boost my confidence.
Right.
And how did you situate business between that feedback you were receiving from people?
Right.
Because obviously you weren't looking your problem. The hair is helping you to retain and to be able to project yourself out there positively. So how did you situate your business right in the center of that?
Good. Thank you so much for that. So just as a backstory, when I was going through that times, it was for about a period of almost a year. And beyond my daughter giving me joy, I just asked, I looked within. I was praying to God, "Oh God, give me a job. I need to find a job. I'm not supposed to be in this valley. I can't be here anymore." And then I kind of just stepped back and I looked inward and I said, okay, so if I don't get a job, can I not create a job for myself? Right. So I said, what can I do? Because you would hear people, you would hear top entrepreneurs, millionaires telling you search from within, find something from within. And I looked and I said, if there's one thing that I've always really liked, actually, it's getting my hair done, like wearing a nice wig, getting a fitted wig. And I was such an explorative person. I guess you can see that I'm wearing a blonde wig. Like,
I know.
I'm that person that I like to try out colors. I want to look different. I just want to stand out. I want people to know that you can actually wear this color and it would just pop, you know.
There is no boundaries
with me. And so at that flow moment, I looked inward and I'm like, okay, what's the one thing that I can actually learn? So whilst I was job hunting, I started registering for classes. I would go to classes like revamping classes, coloring classes. There were online classes. I started taking those courses to just boost it. At the time, I wasn't really thinking business. I was just doing it to feel that emptiness inside of me. I've always been a working class mom from day one before I even started having kids. So imagine somebody who has worked for practically 7-8 years now having a pause at the peak of my career and at the peak of, like, I was in my 30s at the time. You know, I'm still in my 30s anyways, but like I was just crossing 30, but it was just like, and you know how when I'm 30 I want to achieve this, and then life just hits you from nowhere. So I looked inward and I knew this was one thing I liked doing. Backstory, as back as when I was in the university, I used to sell weave-ons. Back then, it wasn't human hair. This was 2020, 2006, 2007. I know. You know, and then I would just sell like regular Noble, Expression. I think there was Outre that time. Exactly. I would buy it. I'll take it to school. I would sell in hostels. And girls knew me for, oh, this girl sells good hair. So I started selling it from in university days. But you know how you graduate to get a job and start living fly and think you don't need this. So I think when that happened, it was just a moment for me to sit back and say, if I don't get a job, what can I do with myself? So I started taking those classes, not for the purpose of turning it into a business. I was just trying to enhance what I have. I wanted to be able to maintain my wigs myself because, come on, I didn't have the funds to start going out to pay for those services. If you can't
make more income, you want to be able to contain your expenses.
Thank you very much. So that's why I went for those classes. And then fast forward to, this was 2019, right? So fast forward to early 2020, I got a mini job. I started taking on from there. But whilst I was doing my 9 to 5, I just told myself that I wanted to build something for myself that nobody can take away from me.
Wow.
Yes. I just said, at this phase, I really don't want to be at a point in my life where if I don't have a job, my life would come to an end. I feel like everyone has a hidden talent inside of them. You just need to find it and make
find the flame.
Find it and make do with it. So sometime in 2022,
so was I still in Nigeria now?
This was still
Canada?
Oh yeah, all of this happened whilst I was in Nigeria. And you see, I kind of tell people like, your down times, as much as you think about it, you talk about it, it's actually the time to search and bring out that greatness that's in you if you put your mind to it. So all of this happened whilst I was in Nigeria. And then sometime in 2022, I decided to take it a step further. Trust me, at this point, I wasn't commercial. I wasn't doing it for business. I just said, okay, at the time I'd started relocation plans to come to Canada. And I was like, so if I get to Canada, it will take a while to get a job, settling in and all of that. What can I do to start earning funds before I even find myself a job? So I registered for a wig making class. It was a 2-day master class. I went, and that's one thing with me. When I'm doing stuff, I like to go for the best stuff. If there's somebody who can teach me this, because like having worked in 9 to 5, I always know that there's an easy way out, right? And experience is the easy way out. So I knew I wanted to be able to make a wig. I met someone who said, oh, I can teach you in 1 month. I'm like, that's too much. And he was cheap. He was like 50,000 naira for a 1-month class. I'm like, I would lose interest within 1 month.
So you wanted something that you can accelerate on?
Like there should be a fast, exactly. And so I met, God bless her, my coach in 2022. I had been following her for a while. I just loved her work. I wrote to her, I'm like, I love your work.
Connected to her via
social media. And I'm like, I love your work. I like what you do. I'm going to learn from you. And she was like, impressive. I'm like, yeah. I hadn't met her in person. But you know how I don't know how I stumbled on her page on IG. I think I was just doing certain research. And you know, when you start researching certain things, IG starts popping it your way. So she came and I went through her page. I studied her. I went back as far back as 2 years ago, pictures 3 years ago, and I saw the consistency. So I wrote to her and I said, I'd like to learn from you when I'm ready. I'll just follow you for now, but I'll be very much interested. Luckily for me, she decided to do a 2-day masterclass. Guess what? The 2-day masterclass to learn how to make a wig at the time was 250,000 naira.
Or value packed?
Thank you very much. At the time, I saw somebody was offering 50K for 1 month, and somebody was offering 2 days for 250,000. Usually, you would say, "Oh, go for the cheaper option." But I knew for a fact, coming from experience, this person knows what she's doing. For you to have the guts to do a 2 day class and charge that much, you can't be.
Because mastery is something that you cannot underscore. When you're paying a higher fee to be able to get coached by somebody that is like a subject matter expert, you are also like trying to compress time.
Thank you.
And also have access to some information or knowledge that is not readily available to people that haven't gone through that mastery.
Honestly, you couldn't have put it in a better word. That was just it for me. It was beyond the class. I wanted a coach. I wanted somebody that I could reach out to. I needed access. Thank you very much. That's the word. I needed access. So I went for her. And when she put out the advert to say she's having a 2 day class, I just asked location. She told me, funny enough, the location was 30 minutes, less than 10 minutes drive from my house. And like perfect timing. I was the first person to pay, and she was like, "Do you remember the first day you chatted and you told me you were going to?" I said it because I know what I want. And when I find it, I go for it, regardless of what anyone was saying. And so at that time, I went for the class. It was 2 days. It was the best 2 days of my career. Like you said, it was a mentorship program. It was a coach. It was 5 years compressed in 2 days. She had been doing the business for 5 years. And there was just something about about her that I connected with. And I'm like, this is it. And I went for that class. And truly, that was when I knew, okay, I actually could make good money from this thing. Fast forward, this was in April of 2022. Fast forward November of 2022, I moved into Canada. And here we are doing the business.
Wow, amazing. I love your story.
Yeah.
And something for me that I've taken out of your story is that you are a woman that is full of grit.
Right.
And you are able to quickly censor what you want.
Right.
And when you censor it, you go for it.
Right.
I know that we live in a community in which price point is usually a challenge.
Right.
People will literally want to, even when they see value or quality in your work, they will compare you with other vendors and tell you 10 times, some of the vendors are 10 times cheaper than you.
Right.
And they've been in business for 10 years.
Agreed.
Like, how dare you charge this?
I totally agree.
It's something that I don't personally like. Like,
trust me.
Everybody's got a right on their price point.
Right.
If you're uncomfortable with what that person is charging, there will always be an option in the market.
Right.
Go for what works for you. So how did you manage that? Especially from the standpoint of our community.
Right. That's honestly a very valid concern. I'm still managing that. Because like you said, even when they can see the value, they still don't believe that somebody like me who's barely been 3 years in Canada, and I would say I officially launched my business a year ago, would have the guts to price my products the way I price it. And the reason I usually tell them is very simple. The benefit is best enjoyed when the price is forgotten. So it's not the price that matters, it's the benefit of what I'm offering you that matters. And beyond my product, I think a lot of times my clients come to me because of my personality, but also most importantly because of my value proposition. So I'm not just a hair seller. I say that all the time. No, I'm both a wig maker, I'm a hairstylist, I'm a hair colorist. Now, if you purchase a hair from me, it's not a one-time purchase and you're done. Because I'm a wig maker, if for any reason you have an issue with the wig or it doesn't fit right, I tell you to return it back at no cost and I'll fix it for you. If you tell me, oh, the hair is tangled, I tell you, bring it back to me, I'll fix it for you. So it's not like regular hair sellers that just sell hair and there is no after sales service.
I love that.
Yes.
I connected with that on your Instagram page. And for me, I'm like, this is a very smart business product that you have designed. Because after sales is something that so many people are concerned with when it comes to fashion products. And here you are positioning something that make your whole business stand out around the after sales. You have a problem with shading, bring it back to me. You have a problem around coloring, I am here for you. So why wouldn't I deal with such a person?
Exactly. That's exactly what I've come to figure out. And even a lot of times I have clients who tell me, I've had one of my clients go out somewhere and she came back and said, I'm sorry I went outside. And I started saying, you're such a cheater. I'm going to deal with you. And I'm like, you can't cheat and just come back. I'm like, you've got to pay double the price.
And that's confidence.
Yes.
I tell people in going into a business, honestly speaking, be that person that if there is any competition, that competition is with yourself. It is you comparing where you are today to where you were yesterday.
Right.
Taking the baseline and asking yourself, what can I do better from where I am now into the future?
Right.
And that's what I see you doing there. It's not a function of how is seller A doing our own or what is seller B doing differently. And that's where I believe that growth is coming from.
Yes, I totally agree with you. I always say I'm my own competition. So whether there are 10 hair sellers in the city in my city, Regina, I don't see the 9 other vendors as my competition. I see myself as, can I do better? What should I have done differently? What can make me stand out, right? And I think that it's very clear for my clients to see that when they interact with me, I'm not about your money. So you come to me and say, oh, Bessie, I want to buy a 26 inches bust down wig. Perfect. What's your lifestyle? I have like a consultancy services. What type of a person
you charge for that?
Funny enough, it's free.
Oh
right?
my God.
Maybe very soon I'll start charging for that, right? But like I try to prefer a solution that works for my clients. So you come and tell me, I'm a 9 to 5, I'm a mom, I don't have time, I work from home. I would not sell a 26 inches bust down wig to you unless you insist, because that's not value for your money. First off, 26 inches is a very expensive length. Why spend so much for something you barely wear out? I would rather tell you, go for a 10 inches bulbs, such that is very easy to maintain. When you want to join your meeting, you grab it on, you put it on. I can prefer wigs that work for your lifestyle. And I feel like those are the value propositions that I bring in that doesn't make me bother about other people. It's what and so for me, it's passion. It's not, I said, I'm not just a hair seller. It's the full package. I want you to be enthusiastic about your purchase. Like I want you to buy a hair from me and be interested in wearing it. I want you to buy a wig from me and not say, I want to wear that wig, but it doesn't fit me. It gives me a headache. I don't like how, no. That's not why I'm here. I want because at the end of the day, it's not cheap. It's affordable, but it's not cheap. So why buy a $700 wig and each time you want to wear it, you think twice? That wig is not for you. I want you to buy a $700 wig, and when they say let's go to church, you wear it. Let's go for a party, you're wearing it.
The value for money lies.
That's it. Like that's the value.
Look at that.
And I dare say that I've been very successful in achieving that because I have some of my clients who have bought not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5 wigs from me.
And they keep coming back.
Yes. Because they know that, like I said, I learned the art of wig making, the mastery of wig making from a professional. So even when you wear my wigs, the way they fit on you is different. Beyond just the hair. And I say it all the time. You can buy an expensive hair and it doesn't fit you. Not that the hair is bad, but the wig was probably not constructed correctly. There is a measurement, there's a way to construct a wig to fit everybody's head.
So there is an architecture behind all of this.
Thank you very much. Like from the sizing of the wig to the wig cap to the fitting to the sewing to the threading to the elastic band, there is an art. So when I charge what I charge, is that I know what I'm delivering on, and I can tell you I've never really had much complaints on how my wigs fit. A lot of times they come back. In fact, I have a client in Nova Scotia who is sending 3 of her wigs down for me to re-wig.
Look at that.
One of them, she has never worn it. She's like, each time I wear it, it doesn't just fit my
face. And it's not to say that there are no hair
in her city. Like she has told me,
in her cities, or people that are revamping and making over here.
That's value for me. That's what I'm about. And she said, I said, let's Google and find people. She's like, I don't want it. It's just how much. I'll ship to you. When you're done, ship it back to me. But every time I wear your wigs, I like how they fit. That's value. It's beyond. That's why I said the value is best enjoyed when you've forgotten the price.
I love that.
Right? But a lot of times I'll see people say, oh, I bought this hair, it's expensive. No, you don't allow the expensive things. If I'm wearing a Gucci, I don't need to tell you I'm wearing a Gucci. The confidence
speaks for yourself.
That's it. You don't need to tell me. You don't need to prove to me that you're wearing an expensive hair. There's the level of confidence you wear on a wig I'll know this is expensive. This is class. Yeah. And that's what I actually offer. That's so competition for me and pricing is just it's just a function of the understanding the people have. And luckily for me, I've been able to have a lot of return clients. And that's because they now understand. Also, I take my time to educate people.
Right.
I've had people buy wigs from top vendors from Nigeria and they'll send it to me to re-wig.
Look at that.
So it's like a value system, like an ecosystem of the wig business. I'm in the middle of it. So whether you're making a wig, I'm there. Whether you want to revamp your hair, I'm there. Whether you want to color your hair, it's like the whole value chain. I'm just clocking around it. So I'm like, if I'm not selling, I'm either rewigging someone's hair, I'm revamping somebody's hair, somebody wants to color their hair. So whichever way it comes, I'm there. So I think that kind of just gives me some level of confidence and say, well, everybody can do what they want to do.
I just love the way you build your value proposition together. That's really interesting. You're gonna go a little bit into your background now, right? Because I discovered that from her conversation and from some research I've done on few things on social media, I can see that you are the kind of a woman with her own money, like a woman that's confident making money. It doesn't matter what my spouse is doing. I also want to be relevant on my time. And when you see ladies like that, you want to imagine what their childhood actually looked like. So let's talk about it a little bit. How did your money journey actually start?
I was gonna say, did somebody give you an expo about my person? Is there something I don't know?
I just do a fantastic, before I bring any guest on, I have a responsibility to do a very good research, except that person is not visible
on
online.
Social media.
Yeah. Once the person is visible, from video to articles of 10 years ago to articles of 5 years ago, there's a way you can sit down and connect the dots.
Right. I absolutely am amazed with how far you've done your research.
Thank you.
And I didn't know it was that clear for anyone to see. I just thought, okay, I'm just showing up for my business because that's all I need to do. But I cannot take the accolade for this one. This is an emotional one. I've just had to give that accolade to my mom. I was raised by an extremely hardworking woman. My mom, so to say, was an illiterate. She never went to school, but everything my father could achieve, she achieved it for herself as a woman.
Amazing.
My mom is a tailor, and from being a tailor, I saw my mom buy lands. I saw my mom build houses for herself. And my dad was doing extremely well. Like, I know when we were younger, like, we used to have some relatives that would tell you, if I had a man like your husband, I wouldn't lift a finger. My mom would tell you, it's better to have your own money. The respect that comes with having your own income can be compared to. I saw my mom as far back as 2005 gift my dad 1 million naira to put the roof over the house where we lived. As far back as 2005, that was my mother. From somebody who was an illiterate, she didn't even complete primary school, but she knew what she wanted. Like, so I kind of feel like I got that strength from her. I saw my mom work for her money. Up until now. My mom at 60 went to enhance her tailoring skill. She's a tailor. She went back to school at 60.
Oh my God.
And I'm like,
look at the strength.
Do you need that? She's like, yeah, the styles of sewing then is different now. And she went to improve on her skill at 60. Yeah, that's my mom for you. So I remember when I was younger, I said my mom is a tailor, right? I would see my mom sew, and then most times I'm in the room gisting with her or helping her with designs and stuff. And she'll tell me, you need to learn this thing. As a woman, it's not just school. Forget that I didn't go to school. You need to learn a trade. You need to be able to be handy, yada, yada, yada. And I'll always tease her and say, if everybody's a tailor, who will pay who to sew their clothes?
Oh my God.
I wasn't wise at the time, you know? And she'll say, that's not what to think. I mean, because I'm like, if we're all sewing, then that means nobody will make money because everybody can sew what they want. So people like you should sew. People like us should come and pay you to sew. And you would laugh about it, but guess what? Years down the line, I'm the one who is now on a sewing machine making a wig.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll sit in my store and I would say, this was my mom. And at the time, I didn't think what she was doing was reasonable. But here I am doing the same thing she did.
Wow.
Yes.
And honestly, I want to believe that little things that you've learned from a tailoring experience have also helped you. Maybe you have pivot some of those skills into your hairmaker business.
In fact, on Saturday I was having troubles with my sewing machine, and she was my first dad.
Oh my God!
I mean, my sewing machine
you have a go-to mentor.
my sewing machine is making this sound, and she said, "Okay, turn it on. Let's see. Okay, have you checked this? Have you checked that? Oh, the motor is the problem. I think this is what you should do. Can you open it?" I'm like, "Madam, you're not a mechanic. Thank you. You can't solve my problem. Have a good day." You know.
Oh my God.
But yes, I think for me, it's just beyond my mom being a tailor. I was that child that would go to my mom to supply her products, her wares to her clients.
Yeah.
And so I would see the bargaining skill that goes on. I see the architecture that goes into the dresses she made. I think my mom gave me that confidence that I needed to do a business that I wanted to do. Because there was this popular market in Nigeria they'd go to in Lagos. It was called Aswani Market in Lagos. That market was only on Tuesdays. And it's funny because on each line, everybody selling the same product stays on the same line. So sometimes I would go with my mom to the market, and we would have people, traders coming from Cotonou, Togo.
Wow.
It was a very big market. It was only on Tuesdays they opened up. And on some occasions, my mom would have no sale. On some days, she would have low sales. I've witnessed a time where we're packing to leave, and some lady came and bought like 20 pieces at once, paid cash, and walked away. So I feel like those times, those memories is what gives me hope. There are months I could go without a sale, but I would still show up for my business regardless.
Up, I love that.
Oh yeah.
Showing up is very important to every entrepreneur. Oh yeah. Whenever I'm holding a business coaching session, two things I always tell my audience: it is important you show up consistently, even when you feel nobody's watching.
Yep.
Go there and show up. Number two is also that you must have a point of contact. You can say you have a business, and people cannot quickly identify where to locate you.
Right.
How people connecting with you?
Right.
Is it on Instagram? Is it YouTube? Is it during a physical
fair or like
location or any kind of networking?
Right.
There must be something that you can identify as that point of contact.
Right.
And that I will say that it's a very key aspect of business lesson. And a lot of people believe that when things are pretty tough, for example, can you imagine somebody trying to make a sale under the sun and nothing happened for almost 8 hours and about to probably thinking this is a bad day, let's go back, and suddenly something showed up.
Yeah.
So that speaks of resilience.
Right.
It speaks of tenacity. It speaks of holding forth.
Right.
So all of these are like two kits that I think are necessary in taking to the business field.
I
Thank
agree
you
totally.
so much for sharing that
totally.
in blessing. Yeah. So let's talk about capital. I know that you've been in corporate before, so maybe it was pretty easy for you to be able to even afford the amount of training fees that you needed. You have a good husband that probably you can detail to say, pay for this. And I've seen a lot of people talk about major constraints in starting a business.
Right.
Capital is a challenge. Talk about owning sewing machine. I don't even know that so much of assets is required.
Oh yeah.
And actually doing that kind of business. So what was it for you in raising your initial capital? Especially that luxury is your own niche.
Right.
So definitely whatever you will be doing, it's beyond like
regular price.
So how did you do that?
So I'll tell you for a fact. When it came to the trainings, like you said, I had a 9 to 5, so I could afford to pay 250k training and all of those. But so let me tell you the truth. When I first started off my business, I didn't start as a wig seller. No. You see, I feel like people want to start big. That's why you're struggling with capital. I feel like the greatest capital you can give yourself is to believe that you can do that before you even think of the money. Do you think that you can do this thing? Or do you think that this can be a business that you can go into and you will make it? Your belief is the first capital you need before you even think of funding, because people will only fund what they believe in. So if you don't believe in yourself, nobody will fund you. So for my case, I started off as a revamp specialist. So when I first came into Canada, I started talking to people, friends. I would go to church. I'll tell them I did freebies. I'll tell them, your hair looks good, but it needs a little touch. Can I revamp your hair for you for free? And I remember one lady, her eyes popped. She was like, huh? I'm like, yeah, what is revamp? I'm like, I'll wash your hair, I'll deep condition it, and I'll style. So she brought it over. I revamped for her. Next Sunday, she came with 3 wigs and paid me for the 3 wigs. That's capital.
So service is like a quick win.
That's the easiest way to get people. Oh, and not just one person. I did it for a couple of people, right? So I started with revamping, and then I started charging little by little by little. People started knowing me. Somebody started telling people about me. To be honest, that was how I got my first $1,000 to buy my hairs. Oh yeah, because I was willing to start small. I didn't need to. I could have gone to my pocket. No, I had some funds that I would have used, but I'm like, no, I'm going to watch this business fund itself. So I started by doing revamping, $50 here, $40 here. One time, one client came and brought 10 wigs at a time. Yeah, and that was like $500. Exactly. That's how I got my funds. And then, from then, people started telling people. I started gathering and gathering and gathering, and I got my first $1,000. I remember bringing that money and saying to my coach, we were having conversations like a coaching session, and she's like, "Blessing, you're just revamping. You would not scale to a high level if you stick at revamping. Why not considering adding sale of hairs, closures, and stuff?" I'm like, I want to, but my problem is the kind of hairs I like. I don't know if people will be willing to bring out that money. She's like, try. If they don't, then you switch to something cheaper. Start big. Start with top quality hairs. If they don't buy it, go for something lower. Don't start with low. Because when you start with cheaper hairs, when you want to scale up, people start saying, when did she start? We knew how it's selling. So start big. And I always bless God for my coach. Then I said, okay, where do I start? We had conversations. She sold some contacts to me and all of those things. And I started. I remember placing my first order. That night I couldn't sleep. I was like, God, what if this thing is not? How do I explain to myself? And I went to my mom. I'm like, I want to start selling hair. He said, okay, but you start first. When I see that you're doing well, I'll invest in you. So that's why I said the first capital you need is to believe that you can do it. Money would come later.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah. So that's how I got my funding.
I love that. What would you call your biggest financial lesson? Maybe from now that you're running a business, or even from your childhood experience, or while working, what's your biggest money lesson?
Would be to diversify your investments and your portfolio as much as possible. So for me, this business was a diversification of my funds. Like I said, so when I started gathering money to start the business, and the business started getting to a certain level, I was then confident to bring my personal funds and put it into the business. So that's me diversifying. So I have a bit of savings here, I have a bit of investments here, but I also have an investment in my business that I hope to reap the returns in the nearest future. So my biggest financial lesson would be to start small, grow big, diversify your investments. Even with my hairs, my business, I'm diversifying the type of hairs I'm carrying now. So I'm trying to add to my portfolios of hair types or hair textures that you can buy from me. So I'll say that that's my biggest financial lesson. And save, 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 save. I didn't used to be that girl who would save, but as I've grown older, I've come to realize it makes sense to do that. It just makes sense to want to have extra funds stocked somewhere.
And when you save, that extra step of always investing it. Yeah, because I call savings is like a shelter in the time of storm.
Right.
Because you never know what lies ahead. Everyone is going to go through one hard time or the other.
Right.
It's just a function of when.
Right.
So you need to have something saved up somewhere to take care of those contingencies.
Right.
And anything above that contingency level savings should right there go into investment that can also be working for us. So that is so great. And what would you consider like a lesson for young entrepreneurs, especially people coming to diaspora, maybe people relocating, or people going through some level of transition or other? Because I know that over here in Canada or other countries that Africans frequently migrate to, the most comfort zone for people is to look for a job when they get abroad. Some struggle through the job offer and till retirement. Some are comfortable with their 9 to 5. Some few people around 50, 60 regrets begin to come in. So what will you say to people, especially diaspora.
Right.
When it comes to owning businesses or side also, what would be like your own advice?
I think that when it comes to that, I'll speak for myself.
Right.
When you move into a new country, the first thing you want to do is survive.
Yeah.
Years after, you begin to grow. And then years after, you then thrive.
Right.
I think it's a process, and you must be willing and open to go through that process.
Fantastic.
I think a lot of people want to skip the process. They want to get into a country, they don't want to survive, they want to thrive. You would get battered. That's not how it works. So for instance, myself, like I said, when I first came, my business wasn't the first thing I thought of. I came with 3 kids and a husband. How much can my business most likely give me at the time? I knew for a fact that the first thing I needed to do was to survive, and survive was getting a job, right? And so I got a job, I started earning, I survived.
Yeah.
After some period, I knew, okay, I needed to succeed. I needed to step higher, right? I needed to venture into something different. And then I started the business. And I would say that at this point, I'm not even there yet with my business, but I'm thriving towards getting there. But where the problem is a lot of the aspirants, when they come, they either stay in the survival base forever without growth, or they stay in the growth area without thriving. So I think that at whatever part or place you are in your journey, you must be able to identify that spot, but don't stay there. My dad would always say it's okay to fall, but it's not okay to stay down. You're people come in here, everybody, like I said, in survival jobs, 5 years, 10 years. No, stop surviving, start growing. When you grow, start thriving. And it's usually a process, right? I would say here in Canada, when you move into Canada, give yourself 3 years to survive. It's tough because you come from your home country, you're doing good. You move into a new country and you expect that you should just get up and fly. No, give it time. The system automatically, I was telling someone, the system is automatically set up for you to work and earn. Why? Because they need your taxes to survive. I have that understanding. So no matter how much, maybe you're still, I'm saying, I don't know where everyone is at their journey. So I'm just speaking generally speaking.
Right?
But also, for the sake of entrepreneurs, I think it's a good thing to do. But don't go into business because everybody's doing it. Go into business because you love it. Oh yeah, I should have gone into, I have a lot of talent or skills or other things, but I went into what I love because doing business abroad is tough. Oh, it's extremely tough. In Nigeria, labor is cheap. So you can employ somebody to do ABCD, delegate your task. Abroad, it's minimum wage. If you want to employ someone, you have to pay the person that. I had a friend who started a business here, a fashion business, kiddies fashion business, and went into a store and was sharing a store. But she couldn't extend more than 6 months at the store. Because everything she was making was paying rent and labor. So at the end of the day, she had nothing left. She had to pack up and go back to her basement. That's where she's at now. And I'm like, yeah, but see, like I said, she didn't let the business survive. She just wanted to start, go big. No, just take each step as it comes. Know where you are at that phase. Accept that phase. Don't be in denial. This is where I'm at right now. And I said this for myself. A friend was asking me, so Blessing, are you going to retire? Are you going to resign and focus on your business? I said yes, but that's a long-term goal. The current goal that I am now is to grow. I am at my growing phase. It would be very unreasonable of me to leave my current paying job and then sit at home when I know that I haven't built that level of community that I want for myself. But when my business grows to the level where I need to leave my 9 to 5, nobody will tell me. I will know. When I get to that place, I would leave it and I will thrive. So I think that's what everyone should consider.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, so thank you for sharing. That is so profound. I know you've told us about your hair mentor, the person you learned through, and that is still holding your hands through the process. Are there some other mentors?
Right.
Who are you modeling after? Who is that person that when you think of your next move, that's the image that comes to you?
Right.
So we want to know. Or what are the books that you have read in time
gossip
past
girl.
I love that.
Gossip girl in the
So what are the books that have shaped this formidable woman?
Do you know the funny thing is, and that's one skill I hope to pick up on in the coming year, I'm not somebody who reads a lot, but I'm somebody who monitors people's successes.
Right.
I have a lot of hair vendors that I follow, and subconsciously, I just learn from them. Like I said, they are not my competition. I have hair vendors that have been in the business for 15 years, 17 years. I sit on their page. I see how much work they put in. And it just motivates me to say, Blessing, you can do this. So I do have a lot of them. One of my favorite, apart from my coach, is her name is Emilian Hair. She's in Nigeria. She used to be my hair supplier. I would always shop my hairs from her. And she's just this classy lady. She's just on a class of her own. She's not loud, but she is that one lady that I have bought her hairs. And I can vouch and say, if I want to spend 1 million naira, anything above 500,000 naira in Nigeria, if it's not her, I don't trust. If it's not her or my coach, I don't trust. Not that I don't trust, but
I'm just, you resonate with.
Thank you. Yeah. And that's what I want for myself. I want to be that brand that is not, I just want to be on a class of my own. I just want to feed a certain class of women. So I just have business owners in different sectors like that I watch, that motivates me, that when I see their post, I'll turn on my ring lights. I have to create something because these people have been in the business. They are showing up every day. It just kind of motivates me. So yes, I wouldn't say I have one particular other than my coach. I just have several business owners that I follow, that I watch, that I just try to see their business ideas, see them put their personality out there, and I just resonate with it.
Wow. I love that. So where can the viewers actually connect with you? Where are you hanging out on the social media?
Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
So I'm not such a savvy person on all platforms, but I'm very, very active on Instagram.
Right.
I'm trying to put out my products on Facebook, on TikTok, as well as on Threads. So my business name is Be Enthusiast.
Okay, can you spell that?
Okay, so it's BEHAIRTUSATICS. Be Enthusiast. That's basically it. I'll probably just share my handle with you. If you can put it on the screen for anyone.
It will be embedded in the description section so that people can go connect with you.
Yeah, because I've heard people say your business name is too long. I'm like, it's not flesh and blood. Deal with it. Like, exactly. You guys can pronounce Salvatore Ferragamo.
Oh my God, look at that. So you can do that. Why not?
Yeah, if you're sure of Salvatore Ferragamo, why can't you not be enthusiast? It's that simple. It's that
confidence.
Oh yeah. Because like I said, at the end of the day, you're just all you need to succeed. Just believe that you can do it, regardless of what anyone thinks or what anyone says. Just believe that you can do it. That's all you need. And every day you would put yourself out there. There are people who resonate with you. There are people who would like your content. There are people who will just reach out to you and say, surprisingly, as much as I think, the people don't see me, my post on Instagram. Recently, a nail technician in my city, who is not black, by the way, reached out to me and said, I've been seeing your page. I really like what you do. Can I give you a free nail service? I'm like, oh yeah, and she's not cheap. Because when I went to her store and I saw her price list, I'm like, is this how much you charge? She's like, yeah.
That potential collaboration.
Exactly. That's collaboration. So I'm just letting people know you are all you need to succeed. Just believe that you can do it.
Right.
Everyone will come around with time. Not everyone. But like, if you believe in yourself, the genuine people would come to find you. And when they find you, they'll stay. I have lots of loyal clients who have stayed, who I've been able to build relationship outside of business with. They would have functions and they'll tell me, you're invited. And I'm like, okay, I'll show up, those type of things. So yeah, that's it. But I'm on social media. I'm trying to put myself out there and do all of the posts. It's not easy.
I know.
It's not
especially
easy.
when you're on the business side and also trying to churn content out there.
Oh yeah, it's tough.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Sometimes I just shy away from there. Sometimes I'm not in the mood. Sometimes I go quiet because I'm human. But it's okay. But I still know that deep down I'm going to eventually, put out content as much as possible. What usually helps me with my content is I do like a batch. Yes. So for instance, before coming on here, I've done posts for the week. I've created my post for the week. Tomorrow or later this evening, I'll just go and upload, schedule them.
Organized woman.
I'm not. My husband says I'm only organized when I'm doing my business.
At least if you can be organized doing business and also managing family.
Oh my goodness. It's exactly, but that's how passionate I am. Like that's the one thing that I can get home at 10 p.m. and go into my store and be there till 1 a.m. Oh, it gives me joy. I just, because I don't see it as work. I see it as fun. For me, it's even a time to just declutter, to just run through my day while I'm on my sewing machine or I'm styling a hair. I just have so many things going through my mind.
So you kind of like combine it as your me moment.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I say it a lot. If I didn't have my business, I would have gone insane in Canada. Because as someone who lived in Nigeria and who lived in Lagos, imagine living the Lagos buzzy life and then coming to a town like Regina, Saskatchewan that is quiet. My business is like my safe space. It's like, when I'm there, my music is loud, my ears are busted. It just gives me that energy, that vibe, that, so for me, it's like, I'm just so passionate about it. It's just something I absolutely love. It gives me peace. It makes me feel like this is mine. And in the nearest future, the goal is to retire and just go into it full time. So I might as well.
Wow. Thank you so much, Blessing.
Thank you for having me.
It's been an honor having this great conversation with you today. I personally enjoyed every single part of it. And I'm sure that the audience also will have a fantastic time viewing this. So to all the viewers, I want to say a very big thank you. Thank you for joining in and for sticking in till the very end. And if you have enjoyed this particular episode, please remember to subscribe and also hit the notification bell so that anytime we upload new video, you will be the first to know. Until we come your way again in another super engaging episode, continue those money moves.